So Newcastle United v Benfica here tonight at St James's Park. We've had the sound check here. The Champions League anthem sounding as brilliant as ever at St James's Park. But now we start counting down towards kick-off. Newcastle taking on a Benfica side who arrive here with 0 points on the board in the huge 36-team group stage. Newcastle already have 3 points, 2 games in. They'll be looking for at least 4 more wins to try and get a playoff place. Jose Mourinho last night talking about Benfica getting 15 points, so they're going to have to start winning soon. Maybe he's got a victory in mind tonight. I personally think he'll come here and frustrate and try and get a point maybe and just totally nullify Newcastle. That'll be his plan. But Newcastle have got to go and do something different. I think Newcastle revved up after this one. I think they think that the criticism after Brighton was probably a bit too harsh, and they're out to prove a point tonight. So let's see what happens here at St James's Park tonight. 8 o'clock kick-off, Champions League football back, can't beat it. Well, was that the Anthony Gordon show, or was it the Nick Pope show? You tell me. Newcastle United were fantastic. A 3-0 win here over Benfica. It could have been one of those nights up against Jose Mourinho, who's renowned for coming to frustrate opponents, rattle them, get men behind the ball. And it did look like it was going to be a tough game at one stage. Benfica did pose a few threats to Newcastle, but in the end, Newcastle came good. And 3-0, you know, it could have been much, much more tonight. Anthony Gordon getting the opener in the first half to put Newcastle in control, and then after the break it was all about Harvey Barnes coming off the bench, grabbing 2, super sub. But that assist from Nick Pope will be talked about for years. It's like an NFL quarterback, a really long throw up the pitch, and Harvey Barnes latched on before smashing it off the post to make it 2-0. He then added a third to put the lid on it, but Newcastle could have many more, as I say. Dan Burn, a couple of great opportunities, but overall this was a fantastic win for Newcastle. It's another 1.8 million in the bank as well in the Champions League. Newcastle are starting to grow into this competition. Well, there you have it behind me, St James's Park, after an amazing night here in the Champions League. A 3-0 victory, and I got handed a stat sheet as I left St James's Park, and statistics, particularly in the second half, were unbelievable. It's actually blown away here. But, you know, goal attempts from Newcastle, 18. Shots on target in the second half, 10. They absolutely battered Benfica. And I think Mourinho, afterwards in his press conference, pretty much said, you know, his team could not live with the horsepower of Newcastle United. The fact that they were able to bring stars off the bench like Harvey Barnes, and they'd done an amazing job on a very tough night. It's getting very windy up here. And yeah, for Newcastle fans, I think they saw the best side of Eddie Howe's team, something that's been missing in recent weeks. And the fact that it's taken quite long for Newcastle to see this, Newcastle fans to see this, and the fact they haven't been able to transfer it from European stages to Premier League stages and vice versa. It's been a source of frustration for the manager, but he was very happy with the players tonight. He said that basically it was all now about setting standards and taking Newcastle to that next level, starting with Fulham at the weekend, back here at St James's Park for another big occasion. So, yeah, Newcastle getting back to the best levels. Benfica blown away, really, tonight. They did start quite sturdy, but could not maintain it. And Newcastle United, as I say, getting back to the best. So, yeah, it was a really big positive night all round.